What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. My name is Francis and welcome to the Tales of Octavia YouTube channel. Today we're going to be reacting to the new Unearthed Arcana, Draconic, racial options, breath weapons, some feats and magical abilities. If you haven't seen it already, this has been out for like a few weeks, but I'm going to leave a link in the description down below. I'm not going to go through it. I'm not going to read it to you. You can definitely check it out yourself. However, I do want to bring the attention of certain aspects that make the Draconic race better and why I'm actually considering it using in a future campaign if this ever comes out in some book or some 5e supplement. So let's jump right in. So basically, the idea of the Draconic races is to give more uniqueness to each and every single Dragonborn race. So when you create a character, you have your lineage. I believe the abilities and languages are pretty much the same. You could not learn Draconic. If that's something that you don't want to do, then go for it. But we're gonna look at the chromatic Dragonborn stuff here because pretty much everything is the same. But at level 3, you have what is called chromatic warding, where you can actually channel your Draconic energy to make yourself immune to the damage type for 10 minutes. So this just makes Dragonborn sorcerers and Dragonborn is it clerics? Is it no Dragonborn the squishier Dragonborn folk classes, because essentially you are immune to a certain type of damage type, which is really good for wizards, sorcerers, warlocks, anybody who is probably going to get hit. And you can do it once a day, so finish a long rest, or once a day pretty much. And that is pretty bonkers, and I think that makes wanting to be a chromatic Dragonborn really unique. Metallic Dragonborns are the brass, bronze, copper, gold, and pretty much everything is the same again. However, at 3rd level, you gain a second breath weapon. So when you take the attack action, you can replace one of your attacks with the exhalation of magical gas in a 15-foot cone. So and if they fail on a strength saving throw, they are pushed 20 feet away and they are knocked prone. Now this is going to be really useful for Dragonborn fighters, Dragonborn paladins, any Dragonborn player character that uses multiple attacks, and you are just going to be a menace on the battlefield because you're just going to be pushing enemies back. You're going to be knocking people prone, and I believe you can only do it once, so you can do it once per long rest. I do think this will be very useful to the more fighter type of Dragonborn. And then finally we have the Gem Dragonborn, and I believe this is new because I've never heard of the Gem Dragonborn before. Maybe it's in a supplement that I haven't read, but that's fine. Gem ancestry, and this is the weird dragons. Yes, this sounds I figured there'd be some sort of Dragonborn that would have radiant, necrotic, thunder, these types of damage, so I guess they're gem dragons. But let's see, breath weapon looks basically the same as what we saw previously. Psionic Mind. You can telepathically speak to any creature that you can see within 30 feet of you. You don't need to share a language. but the creature must be able to understand at least one language. Okay. Your communication does not give the creature the ability to respond to you telepathically. I see. So this is, they can respond, but they cannot respond to you telepathically. Interesting. This would be very good for the sneakier people. And then starting at 3rd level, you can use your bonus action to summon temporarily an array of spectral gems that match your gem ancestry in the shape of wings that last for 1 minute. Okay. Kind of go the ASMR route. I like it. You gain a flying speed equal to your walking speed and can hover. Once you use this trait, you can't do it until you finish a long rest. So you can fly equal to your walking speed and can hover. Okay, I like that. I like having the ability to fly. As Dragonborn, I think that I feel like at some point Dragonborn, if they should like harness the ability to fly in some way, shape, or form that's not just through like a simple fly spell or some sort of, you know, cheap ability, I should say. I do like this ability. I don't really think it's that useful by itself. However, I do see this coming into handy when compared to the other types, because we had one that's really good for the squishier magic users. We have one for the fighters and the rogues. We now have one for the more stealthy, sneaky, maybe somebody that's more not balanced between the two, but more creative and flexible in terms of their abilities. I think this would be good for them. And now we have the kobold traits. And I think most of this is the same to Volo's guide. But the Draconic Legacy is is it the Draconic Legacy or is it the Roar? I can't remember. I haven't read Volo's in a little bit. But you have advantage on saving throws to avoid frightened or end the frightened. Oh, choose one of the legacy abilities. Got it. You know, one cantrip of your choice. Okay, or you can make unarmed strikes with your tail. When you hit with it, it deals 1d6 plus strength. Okay. Okay, I like it. I don't really know what I would do with it. I guess advantage on saving throws if you are like a frontline tank or a damage dealer. Cantrip if you're a spellcaster kobold, and I guess this one if you're a fighter. I don't know, but I have them or I have one of these depending on which build that I choose. I think one of my favorite things I saw online was having a kobold bard, and I think that would be really cool to have, and have a kobold bard with the with either the advantage to saving throws or the one cantrip. I think that would be pretty fun. But anyways, Draconic Roar. Okay. As a bonus action, you let out a Draconic Roar at your enemies within 10 feet of you. You and your allies have advantage on attack rolls against any of the enemies you could hear with the roar. Okay. You can use this trait a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. I like this because I feel like if you are going a more supportive class like Bard or maybe even Wizard, well, the thing is, Wizard, you might not be 10 feet. Bard, maybe. If you are maybe being like a rogue kobold, this would be good because you're in the thick of it, and 10 feet might seem a little bit small, but if you're really trying to do like a frontline thing, your allies should oh, it's your enemies within 10 feet of you. Yeah, if you're a frontline, this is really good. Because not only does your allies have advantage, it lasts for an entire round, and depending on where you're in the initiative, I think this could work. They're doing the goblin thing where you're, for some reason, you're 30 feet. Why? I don't know. We should just make dwarves and halflings have 30 feet of movement by this point, but I digress. And frankly, I think this is okay. Hold on, I don't see anything else that's different, but yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. And finally, let's dig in. I'm not gonna go through the spells, but why don't we dig into the feats really quick? Gift of the Chromatic Dragon. You can touch a martial or simple weapon and infuse it with one of the following damage types. And for the next minute, it deals an extra 1d4 damage. Okay. This is pretty good, I think, for like maybe lower levels. I think higher levels, it could be good too. I mean, 1d4 is not a lot, especially at higher levels, but I think that damage is damage, and especially since you have the flexibility as a bonus action to continue swapping between the, let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 damage types. I mean, it could be useful. And when you take acid, cold, fire, lightning damage, you can use your reaction to give yourself resistance. So I think this is probably better than the first part, because this uses a reaction, and especially if you're not going a spellcaster route, there's not really many things that you can do with your reaction, unless you have something a bit extra, or depending on your class. But my point is, you can use this reaction to a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and that will, so basically this will help you at the later levels, this will help you at the starter levels. Sounds pretty good. Metallic Dragon, the gift, you learn Cure Wounds. Okay. Once you cast the spell, you can cast the spell using spell slots. The spellcasting ability modifier is Intelligence, Wisdom, or Charisma when you cast it with this feat. Okay, interesting. So you can have like a Metallic Dragonborn fighter with Cure Wounds. Interesting. That will definitely come in handy at the lower levels, especially if you're playing in a party that doesn't have a cleric. You can manifest protective wings that can shield you or others from the attacks. When you or another creature you can see within 5 feet of you is hit by an attack roll, you use your reaction to manifest spectral wings from your back. Roll a d4 and grant a bonus to the target's AC, and the number rolled against the attack roll, potentially causing it to miss. You can use this reaction a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. Okay, so this is like a bless, but for your AC. And frankly, I think this is gonna make, like, this gift is pretty good for clerics. Now I'm thinking about it. I mean, you get, well, no, actually, no, it would be probably good for classes that don't have a cleric, because Cure Wounds is, you want to cast that at a higher level. Using a reaction to increase a person's DC, but they have to be within 5 feet of you. I think if you're a fighter, you want to go Metallic Dragon, or if you're not a Dragonborn, this gift would actually help you out a lot, because 1, you get Cure Wounds, and 2, you also can potentially boost your allies' AC, and then grants a bonus to the target's AC. Yeah, and you can apply this to yourself. So let's say you're the tanky boy with a 20 AC, you can have at most a 24 AC, which is, I think, the equivalent to an actual ancient red dragon. Interesting. Very balanced. But yeah. Yeah. Gift of the Gem Dragon. Increase your intelligence, wisdom, or charisma. When you take damage from a creature that is within 10 feet of you, you can use your reaction to emanate telekinetic energy. Ooh. The creature that dealt damage to you must succeed on a strength saving throw, or take 2d8 force damage and be pushed 10 feet away. This is like the Hellish Rebuke. Is it Hellish Rebuke or is it Armor of Agathis, where it's like your reaction, if you're hit, then it deals damage to whoever it's pushed away. But yeah, this is pretty nice, and I think I like this more than the other two in terms of just overall balance. Well, not, I feel like of all the three gifts I would take this one, just because I have the ability to use my reaction a number of times equal to my proficiency bonus. And stats stick with you for the whole game, okay? And just because of I don't see any downfall of taking this for any specific class. So if I wanted to play safe, I'd probably take the Gift of the Gem Dragon. Then there's a bunch of spells which I am not gonna go through. I actually haven't read most of this, but there's summoning Draconic Spirit, basically more and more real dragon skills. But anyways, I've been rambling for 17 minutes now, so I'm gonna end the video here. Hope you enjoyed my little quick run through of the Unearthed Arcana. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of all of these changes? Would you use this in your own campaign if it came out in a book? Do you think that this gives more flavor to your Dragonborn character or Dragonborn party member? Personally, I think that it's going to be really good to use, and I think it'll give my players, especially the ones who play Variant Human or High Elf all the time, to explore the other Dragonborn options and embrace the whole dragon side of Dungeons and Dragons. But anyways, that's it for me. I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget to click like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Always helps me out, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.